In today's video, we're going to tell you our experience of relocating to Colorado Springs as a family of 4. Now we're a family of 5, so let's not forget about Roman, but at the time we were a family of 4. The first thing we did is we did our research and we visited twice. So we came once in the wintertime and once in the summer. That year, the springs did get a lot of rain, so everything was lush and green, which kind of tricked us a little bit because we expected it to be green like that. And we've had years since then where it hasn't been green because we didn't get a lot of rain. So that's one thing we didn't expect. But we did visit, we checked out different areas, different communities. We quickly figured out the areas that we didn't want to move to, and then things that we liked about different areas that helped us quickly narrow down where we wanted to live.
So before we actually moved, I took a few trips out here to interview for different positions until I finally found a job. At that time, it took me about 2 months to find a job and secure that position in order for us to be able to move out here. So once I did have that job, I had a start date, and then we kind of planned everything around that. So the week before is when I drove family up from Arizona. We did move in February, so we weren't aware of what the weather was going to be like, and it was extremely snowy, icy the whole way up to Colorado Springs. So just make sure if you are moving to the area, you time your trip correctly, and depending on how you're moving here. If you're doing it during the winter and the spring months, it will be snowy, it will be icy, so just be careful with that.
Yeah. And one thing we found quickly is because we are such a huge military town, so a lot of people are moving in and out. And just in general, we've been voted the top place to live in several times. So we do get a lot of coming and going. We found quickly that employers are very flexible with you as far as doing the interview process. A lot of the things you were able to do remotely, which saved us on money, but it was important for us that you secured a job before we got here. So a lot of the employers do make the process easier. After that, we did connect with a realtor in the area that we felt would be a good match for us. So we interviewed a few, and the one we chose, we felt had a good understanding of the area, what our needs were, listened to us, and provided us with resources that helped us kind of make our decisions and find the right house. So that is an important step that I suggest everyone take. I mean, obviously, if you used us, we would be thrilled, but if we're not a personality match, or if you feel like someone else would better serve you, go with whoever you think is going to make the process easier for you. We did buy a house with that realtor, and we have stayed in that house for almost 10 years. So, doing your research and due diligence in the beginning can really help you out in the end as well, and just kind of reduce some of that friction when you're moving to the area.
Another thing that we usually recommend to folks that are moving from out of state is for them to rent. We kind of moved pretty quickly. We didn't spend a whole lot of time researching all the areas of Colorado Springs, but in the area that we're in the northeast part of town. And even then, it was still growing pretty quickly. And we knew that we wanted to be in an area that was newer, still growing, and that was going to grow our values as our community. So just definitely, if you have the ability to rent for even 6 months to a year before you commit to a home, I would highly recommend doing that, just so you can get a good familiar idea of what the city is like. You have a really good feel for it.
We have friends that live in the area, so that helped us as well because we took their opinion at a different face value than we would from, strangers. So that helped us kind of narrow it down quicker. So if you feel like you don't have that and you're feeling uneasy about your decision on what area you're choosing, then renting is definitely a good option. And there are a lot of places that offer short-term leases. So if you don't feel comfortable with your decision, maybe rent first, and that will help you a ton.
And we do have other videos that kind of outline what to expect during the winter and the spring and how to prepare yourself for those times. When we moved here, I had a rear-wheel drive vehicle and I had all-weather tires on it, and it was a complete disaster. So get familiar with what you will need, the equipment that you will need on your vehicle, how to prepare your home for the winter months. And like I mentioned, we have other videos that you can watch outlining that information.
So overall, our experience moving to the area was mostly smooth, minus, we do suggest hiring movers if you're moving in the winter months, just because we almost got stuck in the snow with our rear-wheel drive car. But overall, we had a great experience moving to the area and don't regret moving here. If you have any specific questions about our experience in moving and living here, make sure you reach out to us, and otherwise we'll catch you in the next one.